What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and today I'm going to be talking about Keffels once again. Now, to explain who Keffels is entirely in this video, it would just be far too much. I mean, there's so much lore here, really, that I could go over. So instead, I'll just say, if you want to know the whole Keffels story, okay, then you should probably go and watch my other two videos about her, or alternatively, or maybe in addition, just watch the Destiny Manifesto video about her. There's like 10 hours of content right there if you really want to catch up on the whole story. It's pretty interesting, pretty captivating, pretty doomer pilled, okay? Might make you fear for the future of the internet. But in a nutshell, just for the sake of today's video, Keffels is a trans Twitter user from Canada who has gotten in a lot of controversy over the last year or so for a ton of actions. A decent way to summarize it would be this tweet from Comment Cop, which says that she's annoying, she lies, she's a false flagger, she harasses people, she makes false allegations, she deplatforms her critics, she doxes others, she's a grifter, etc. And the irony of all of this, of course, is that Keffels criticizes others for all of these things while partaking in these same exact tactics that she basically made her online presence, criticizing others for, right? She's a complete hypocrite in every regard. But why are we talking about her today, okay? What's the impetus? What's even going on? I mean, Keffels is kind of old news at this point. Feels like her relevancy is kind of fading. Well, the reason why is because she's actually being sort of canceled on Twitter right now. She's lost thousands of followers in the last few days, and it seems like a lot of the broad support Keffels had in the LGBT community on Twitter, and really the leftist community in general, is kind of going away right now, and it's a really interesting process to watch. It all kind of started because of this tweet from someone named Bell on Twitter, who says, "Keffels is an ableist. Why do we always uplift the absolute worst human beings possible as representatives?" And attached to it is this clip from her stream.
Hold on, retard break. I need a retard break. Give me a retard break for like two minutes. Give me a retard break, okay? I can't keep listening to retards.
Guys, Keffels said retard? Oh my god. This is truly a dark day for the Keffels community. I can no longer support her for this terrible ableist behavior. And of course, this clip, in my opinion, is not bad, right? If you know my history, I certainly have no issue with her saying retard or calling someone else a retard or whatever. Like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But of course, the real reason why Keffels is getting canceled for this, right? The reason why she's getting a ton of shit for it on Twitter is because she fostered a community of people who call out others for making edgy jokes and are not okay with making any jokes about any marginalized group of people, right? One of her biggest points against Destiny was that he was tempted to make an edgy joke making fun of trans rates. Keep in mind, this is while she was attempting to destroy his life by getting all of his income taken away. And now when she wants to be edgy and make edgy jokes, she has to live with the fact that she's built up an audience of people who never accept any of that at all, okay? In the same way they're not accepting of making jokes about trans or misgendering people or stuff like that. They're not okay with saying retard. They're not okay with saying the F slur, okay? All that stuff is totally off limits to them. They are not in favor of it whatsoever. If her brand the entire time had been being funny and trying to push the boundary a little bit, then her audience would reflect that. But instead, she decided to take on like this fake activist kind of mantle on Twitter and criticize anyone for being edgy in any context. And now that she wants to, it has come back to bite her, and maybe deservedly so. Trigger warning, racism. Keffels is now encouraging her followers to infiltrate tender queer Twitter to spread misinfo and mistrust by using Pycrew avatars. She suggested her followers pretend to be black, the end result being that LGBT bi POC would then be viewed with suspicion as a result.
You just got here, are we spreading misinfo? Yeah, I'm doing gay ops on tender queers by encouraging my followers to make Pycrew accounts and infiltrate tender queer Twitter. Because once they catch wind of the plan, they're going to all become incredibly suspicious of pick crews and they will eat each other alive. Does it matter which pick crew? No, just use a random one. But the more diverse, the better. Like, make it like a black butch lesbian.
And of course, imagine someone who is critical of Keffels telling people to pretend to be like trans or infiltrate her community. Imagine the outrage that she would stir up. She'd probably get like 10, 20,000 likes for that one tweet talking about it and crying about it, right? Crying about the fact that people are like infiltrating her community and invalidating the trans experience. But now that she wants to do the same thing, but for black people, she has to deal with the fact that this audience that she's cultivated is not really a fan of being edgy or subverting expectations in literally any way, and she's paying the price for that. And not only that, but obviously people are more up in arms over this because I believe it's Black History Month right now. So obviously it's going to be a bigger issue, right? You can say that this was only a suggestion, but you all know the end result of this will be that black LGBT people on Twitter will be viewed with suspicion as a result of this. One of Keffels' fans who followed her advice has quote tweeted the racism allegations and decided to pretend to be a victim of racism as the reason that their account is brand new. This isn't a one-person issue. Her fan base also is complicit. Why pull this on Black History Month though? Keffels streamed addressing what's happened when the very valid criticism of it happening happening during Black History Month is brought up, her mod at Any43 banned them mockingly with the reason it was during Black History Month. Throwback to the time Keffels took an online autism quiz to justify her past usage of the R slur.
I get you're taking every single criticism in bad faith, but I need to understand Black people are calling you out because they have to see this every day from white people. The clip is up and it's during Black History Month and you're making it worse by making it about woke scolding. Okay, but you are being bad faith by assuming that I'm saying everything in bad faith. Why would you poison the well by starting out trying to make me understand by saying that I'm taking everything in bad faith?
And once again, like, none of this would be a big deal if Keffels was not in this community to begin with. If I said that word on my stream, no one would give it. Literally no one would care. My audience would probably spam based in chat, okay? Based in red pill. Because my audience knows me and they know that I've never hidden that kind of side of myself, right? I've always been someone who's kind of openly edgy and makes jokes like that. Whereas someone like Keffels will pretend to be someone she is not for clout when it's convenient and gather this toxic audience who's not accepting of any kind of joke at literally anyone's expense and is very, very, very sensitive, okay? The woke scold kind of community, okay? That's kind of the community she's fostered. And now they are coming after her for this same behavior. And this is one series of tweets on its own, okay? It may not seem like that big of a deal, okay? You know, one Twitter thread, but this actually started a sort of snowball effect where now anyone from any leftist community on Twitter is coming out and sharing their grievances against Keffels. Apparently, thousands of people were just like holding their tongues this whole time, waiting for the right time to strike and air out all of her dirty laundry, and now they feel that this is the best time to speak out about it. This is the time to strike. This is the time to cancel Keffels and just, you know, make your big compilation of reasons why she shouldn't be supported by the queer community, I guess. Twitter warning, ableism, R slur, Keffels on her current stream debating with a disabled person before hanging up and calling them the R slur. And here we have the clip.
You are doing similar things. If you want to criticize me for that, you need to look inward. People have tried to be kind.
All right, you retard. Jesus. All right, done. God. I don't, what? I made another clip. Oh no.
And then there's a bunch of memes like this too, where people are like, watching everyone unfollow Keffels.
What took you so long, idiot?
If you're wondering how Keffels is responding to the callouts of her racism and call for mass digital blackface on BHM, she has responded by saying she's a POC because she's Italian, linking a card that says Mario and Luigi are slurs. So if you search up the name Keffels right now on Twitter, you'll find that every queer individual, okay, every furry, every trans person is completely shit on her, saying that they're finally ready to unfollow, okay? They're getting off the Keffels train. Okay, and is it bad to wish and laugh at someone's downfall? Is it bad to pray on their downfall, okay? You know, maybe, but this is also a situation where she's kind of made her own bed, right? She gathered this audience of hypercritical, sensitive people who cannot take a joke to save their life, right? This is the kind of people that she loves because they, you know, they helped her accomplish her end goal, or at least try to accomplish her end goal of like destroying Kiwi farms, getting Destiny banned on Twitch for like expressing the opinion that he didn't think that trans athletes should compete with cis athletes, right? This is the audience she used to mobilize her whole force, right? And now she has to deal with the fact that if she wants to try and be a normal person who has a sense of humor, she will be repeatedly punished for it basically every single time. And apart from that, there is some actual biting criticism that has also come out against her. That's not just like, oh, well, she made an edgy joke or something like that, right? Stuff that I would argue is far more harmful for her reputation. We have this tweet which says, I don't really want to get involved in the Keffels stuff, but I will say it's interesting that she had my rapist on her show this week. And she later gave her explanation of what happened there and who this person is, being someone named Cole James Cash. Now, I have no idea what happened here, and I'm not going to speculate on the circumstances, okay? It's one of those situations where you don't want to call the accuser a liar because they could be telling the truth and you want to believe them, but you also don't want to call the person in question guilty because, you know, I was not there. I have absolutely no idea what happened. But this tweet did get a ton of traction and is a really important part of the reason why a lot of people seem to think that Keffels is a pretty freaked up person, all right, for having this individual on her stream. And why wouldn't they be critical of her for this? I mean, having a rapist on your stream or an alleged rapist is certainly a bad look. Been avoiding a lot of the Keffels stuff. Having said that, this is horrendous. I purposely stay far away from drama. I hardly know the situation and don't care to. This made its way onto my feed and was very triggering. I can only imagine if my rapist was given a platform. It sent me into a spiral, imagining him on a large stream. And once again, this is like a whole community of people criticizing her who now believe not only that her whole social activism thing was a grift, because now here she is making jokes at the expense of these groups, but they also believe that she had like a racist on her show who was definitely like probably the worst category of person you can be to these people other than like racist. And she's just, you know, having this guy on her show and casually hanging out with him. And if you guys know this community, there is no doubt in their mind that this woman is telling the truth. Okay, this really is a believe all victims crowd. And once again, I'm not saying saying she's lying, okay? I have no idea what happened. I'm just saying this is the perfect crowd of people to say something like this to, because they're looking for an abuser of any kind. They believe in like the culture and whatever else, and they believe that this is like, you know, the time to call someone out on Twitter. They're looking in every corner to call someone out for this on Twitter. This entire thing has turned into quite the mess for Keffals, and she's lost a lot of support over it from members of the community. She's lost more than 10,000 followers, and a lot of people that used to herald her as like an important social activist, as someone who's fighting for their cause, are now turning their backs and criticizing her straight up. And you know, even I decided to throw my hat in the ring, okay? As you know, a cum-loving person of color myself. I mean, sorry, my friend Anon Bird on Twitter decided to throw his hat in the ring. He tweeted out wondering how they missed this piece of lore, where Keffals apparently was following some kind of Shotokan account, which for those of you who don't know is the male equivalent of Lolly, which is just, why would she ever be following this? Keffals has been caught following a 35-follower Shotokan little boy hentai map account. And you can see here that the account's handle was Shota Dysphoria, so it's hard to imagine that this was like a mistake of some kind. And this person here, you know, in their own tweets is defending their taste, so to speak, in tweet after tweet, if you can call it taste. It really gets the noggin jogging on why she was ever following someone like this. Could it be a mistake? Yeah, you know, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt and say it definitely could be a mistake, and maybe it is, and you know, she can clear that up or something. Maybe they said like one nice thing in her replies that was supporting her and her cause, and she absentmindedly decided to follow them without looking at the at, and was like, okay, you know, this is a supporter, this is someone I want to follow. But for someone who's a political activist and is actually run for local office and is so obsessed with optics and making sure that you're only associating with the right people, calls out others for guilt by association, for someone like this to, you know, not be careful about who she follows and associates with is kind of strange, right? So it's a weird account to be caught following in that aspect.
It's Twitter drama. It's blown way out of proportion, obviously, and people are making all sorts of insane accusations about me, but I'm used to this. I legitimately believe that most of the people don't actually give a shit about this, and they just wanted to find a way to attack me. I'll be charitable to them, despite the fact that that charitability will never be given to me.
And Keffals seems to think that these people are just finding some reason to attack her, right? Any reason. I don't think she actually believes that. I think she's just saying it. And maybe there is a bit of that, okay? Maybe there's a bit of like, you know, insincere sort of bad faith actors going on criticizing her, because there are, you know, some people preying on her downfall for sure. But it's not like her critics in this case are Kiwi Farms users or right-wing people who have every reason to hate her based off of slightly more superficial things and could then use this as a reason to criticize her, right? This is literally just a bunch of like, I assume LGBT and disabled people who are mad at her for her conduct in regards to these communities. I don't agree with those people, but in this particular case, I would say that their criticisms are probably sincere. If you're fighting for social justice and then you like make jokes about those same groups of people, they might get fucking mad at you, okay? And in this case, I feel like this is just a situation where Keffals is having to reap what she sows, considering her own past of making insane, baseless accusations and being totally uncharitable to people who she doesn't like.
Oh yeah, meanwhile he stealths people, which is legitimately a form of...
You know, this is the same person who has made an entire career, who made a public image off of trying to destroy the reputations and careers of people who she does not personally like. So, you know, I feel really little sympathy to her in this case. And people like Tipster are currently defending her for some reason, being like, Keffals is actually based, you know? We need to defend her. This cancellation attempt is super stupid. You know, Tipster, if you know fucking anything about Keffals, then you should not feel bad for her at all. You should not give her any charitability here, considering her history. But instead, because she said retard, you're like, oh my god, based! Maybe you just want to get in her DMs. I don't really know. I just don't know why you're trying to help this individual, considering, like, if Keffals had her way, people like you would be cleaning toilets with your tongue, subsisting off of cockroaches to stay alive, okay? It's absolutely pathetic you would even attempt to defend this person from the woke mob canceling them, considering that she is the woke mob. She is the reason why the woke mob exists. And I hate using that term, okay? It sounds a little cringy, but really, like, if you want to go after the wokies, I mean, she's the definition of that kind of person. No, I speak my own mind. I'm not a part of any echo chamber. If you want that, watch The Quartering. I don't do that, nor do I pander to people like you. Is it better to pander or be retarded and stupid and tipster? I don't know. You guys can decide. And I hate to go after one of my own here in the commentary community, because Tipster, you know what, he's a nice guy. He makes some decent videos, but it's like, if you say something like this and you go out of your way to defend Keffals and be like, oh, she's unjustifiably being canceled, you know, I'm not just gonna stand by here and be like, oh, you know, whatever, let it slide. No, fuck you. You're wrong. Deal with it. Get owned! I speak my own mind. I don't do that shit, nor do I pander to people like you. Whoa, so based, so open-minded and free. Your mind's eye is truly open. Did everyone just like forget the hell she put the internet through? Have you forgotten the future she wants for you? You people are truly disappointing, truly. And yeah, I mean, you get the idea, right? She's getting owned and destroyed and felted on Twitter. If this is gonna have any actual lasting effects, I mean, who's to say? I predict it will probably die down within a few days and she'll go back to her regularly scheduled programming. That being said, if she does do more stuff like this in the future, she'll probably shed even more more followers and get in more trouble with that community, and they'll sort of regard her as a symbol of like what not to platform and like a blight on the face of the LGBT community, you know? Someone not to give a position in the current day. So, yeah, you know, they're definitely gunning for her. There's a lot of people gunning for her right now. I guess we'll see where this goes if she continues to lose followers. You know, honestly, I think it's just gonna end here. It'll plateau and she'll go back to her normal stuff, but definitely a sign of the times that she's lost a lot of support. But yeah, that about wraps up this video. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like. If you disliked it, then leave a dislike. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on all of this stuff, and I will see you all in the next Tom Dark video or stream real soon. Bye.